Right now at noon, authorities investigate a hatchet attack in a Pittsburgh area bike park.
And we're live in Columbus on the square for Columbus Days. We're going to have a preview of that, plus a look at these hot, potentially record-breaking temperatures coming up.
Plus, an Oklahoma senator responds to reports of flag vandalism in Miami.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, a 10-year-old boy is dead after colliding with an SUV on his bicycle. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. It happened yesterday just before 5:30 p.m. on Cole Street in Granby, Missouri. According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, the 10-year-old bicyclist from Granby failed to stop at a stop sign and traveled into the path of a vehicle. Now, life-saving measures were performed on scene, but the boy was pronounced deceased. Next of kin have been notified. Well, authorities have a person in custody in connection with a hatchet attack in a Pittsburgh area park. It happened Wednesday afternoon at the 23rd Street Bike Park. Witnesses say 32-year-old Ashley Marie Wilson struck a 47-year-old woman in the neck with a hatchet following an argument. Now, the victim, whose identity has not been released, was found deep in the woods. She was taken to the hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect is being held without bond and facing charges of felony aggravated battery. Now,
And we are live here in Columbus on the square, and it is because, well, Columbus Days is going on. It's a weekend-long event. There will be balloons. There's a scarecrow contest. There's all sorts of exciting things. And we will, of course, be back here later at 5 and 6 as well. And we're going to have an interview coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. But I also know you folks at home want to know what's going on with the weather. And that's where we are going to start with a live look from our camera. No, sorry, it's not our camera. It belongs to the state of Missouri. But the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line in Joplin. You can see folks lining up on their lunch hour. Definitely filling the streets. Like I said, early in the morning when that road is deserted, it's a little eerie. It's a little more natural to see it filled. Our camera, this one is ours in downtown Pittsburgh, looking pretty good as well. Still have some of that haze. We started yesterday at 56, made it up to 88. So as you can see, well above where we should be. Not quite to record high levels, but that could be coming this weekend. 82 in Joplin right now, sitting at 80 in Pittsburgh, and around the area, it's a little cooler around Cassville, Monette. There was some cloud cover, a little bit of rain shower activity this morning, so mid-70s. The rest of us hanging out in the low to mid-80s. As we go through the rest of the evening, we are looking at clear skies out there, maybe a few clouds here and there, and mild temperatures falling back into the upper 60s by 11 o'clock. As I mentioned, record heat could be on the way on Saturday, and then very cold weather could be on the way by Monday. Details on that and more here from Columbus Days in just a few more minutes. Elise?
all right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Well, the American Legion Post 147 in Miami received a visit from United States Senator James Lankford. He brought 3 flags that were flown over the United States Capitol. Now, this is due to a story we broadcast during the 9/11 weekend. The American Legion had placed flags throughout Miami, and when they returned to retrieve them, they found 15 of them vandalized. American Legion members say they're thankful to the senator and community for their support.
We're still going to do our flag program. I think the city has said they're going to purchase some cameras to keep Main Street in view, that if it ever happens again, everybody will know who it was. So at least we're grateful for that.
Now, KOAM spoke with the Miami Police Department about the vandalism, and they told us the investigation is still ongoing. Well, Missouri Governor Mike Parson stopped in Carthage yesterday to help celebrate a business expansion. Now, the governor, along with community members, cut the ribbon on a headquarters for a new charter bank called 4 States Bank. The new bank will focus on small and medium-sized businesses as well as farmers and residents of the 4 states. The governor expressed his excitement for the new bank as a driver of the local economy.
I'm going to tell you what, to have it right here in Carthage when you talk about that, and really I think we're in the top 10 on those chartered banks. I think we're like 4th in the United States for chartered banks with a little less than 200 in Missouri. But I think when they take that to invest, and if they're like, this is a new addition to that, which means things are going well, it means the public has an interest in doing business with this bank, with the charter bank. So I think it's a great example, again, of how you drive the economy.
The bank represents a more than $1.1 million investment in Carthage and creates 27 new jobs. Well, voters in Pittsburgh had the opportunity to meet with candidates one-on-one yesterday ahead of the election. Now, those on the ballot running for local and state offices came together for a nonpartisan event hosted by the Pitt State Education Association. Attendees were encouraged to ask candidates questions and learn about their policies. Well, Pitt State will begin providing autism evaluations to children ages 1 through 6. Various assessments will be through play and will take place at Pitt State's Psychology and Counseling Department. Now, the assessment is meant to be an evaluation that parents can bring to their child's doctors for an official medical diagnosis. They want to relieve local wait lists among providers of this service and give Pitt State psychology students valuable experience.
Several hours away to obtain a diagnostic. And so the places in this area that do provide diagnostic services have wait lists that are over 100 kids long. So this will provide another avenue for families to access an autism evaluation.
They hope to begin providing this service by 2025. The project and necessary materials will be purchased through the help of a grant. Well, first responders showed up in force yesterday at the Carthage golf course, but without the flashing lights. The second annual Serve Pro First Responders Golf Tournament invited firemen, police officers, and EMTs. Now, yesterday's tournament raised money for the First Responders Children's Foundation. The charity helps provide support for families and children of first responders who have been hurt or have passed.
We support the First Responders Children's Foundation because of their mission statement and how they help the families of first responders. We work really closely with first responders, being in Serve Pro. We do like fire and water restoration, and first responders are usually the first ones on those kinds of scenes, and so we really want to have a good relationship with them.
Yesterday's tournament raised an estimated $10,000 for the First Responders Children's Foundation. Well, coming up, we're live in Columbus, Kansas for the start of Columbus Days. We're going to hear about what's in store for this year's celebrations. And later, we're making Lincoln's lemon.
Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. Carrie Pritchett joining us now. Of course, we're live in Columbus, if you did not know that already, because we've got a big event going on this weekend. Carrie, thanks for joining us today. So first, we wanted to talk real quick about what's behind us. What are these guys? What are they doing here? What are they for?
Well, one of the first events that we have is in conjunction with the free bean feed that is put on by Commerce Bank. We also have a scarecrow contest, so a lot of businesses around the square or businesses that are outside of the community will bring in and set up their own scarecrow display, and we have an outside person who comes in and judges them, and they win a really cool, ribbon and all that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of nice to say we got the clout and we won the scarecrow contest.
All right, and for the scarecrows, if people want to come around and see them, where are they going to be?
They're going to be mostly around the square. Some of them are in display windows around the square. The majority of them will be set on street corners, but you never know where you're going to see them. I know there's one in the ticket window at State Theater, entertainment venue there on the other side of the courthouse. So you just kind of have to walk around and look for them.
All right, and you mentioned an outside person would be judging the scarecrows, and that outside person, where do they come from?
They come from Springfield, Missouri. Her husband was a former hot air balloon pilot who passed away, and so she's always gracious enough to judge for us every year. So.
Right, and that ties us into the balloons themselves. Of course, that's the big show, so tell me a little bit about that. What can folks expect?
Well, tonight is the Balloon Glow. There will be no flights. We'll get a pilot briefing around 6:45. Pilots will take the field, stretch out their envelopes. If the weather is conducive, which is typically, 9 miles an hour or less, we'll stand them all up, and it's a beautiful display. We light up the burners, and the envelopes glow beautifully. and you can actually walk amongst the pilots and go under the balloons and talk to them and ask them questions, take pictures, that kind of thing. A lot of the balloonists have trading cards that they hand out to individuals. Sometimes they'll let kids get in the basket for a photo op. It's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful thing if you've not ever seen it.
All right, and that's happening this evening. What time and where?
Out at the industrial park, which is directly behind or to the right of McDonald's on the highway. It's out in that industrial parkway there. If you get a parking pass in advance, it's a lot better. If not, you can be in line. I would say get there early because parking is at a premium. Last year it was backed up all the way up the highway, which was fantastic. It's a good problem to have. But the sooner you get there, the better. So.
All right, Carrie, thank you so much for joining us for this. And, of course, more information on our website as well at KOAMnewsnow.com. And we'll be back here at 5 and 6 as well for this special event. And we have something special coming up right around the corner. It just happens to be Mr. Food.
Join us as our tasty tour of Washington continues, and we whip up a presidential favorite. This one will definitely earn your vote.
And, of course, it is hot. It could be record-breaking hot as we head into our Saturday, and then a big cool down on the way around the corner from that. The details on your forecast right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. Of course, we are live again here in beautiful Columbus on the square. They've got the Scarecrow contest happening on the square, the balloon show happening at the industrial park, and that'll be later this evening. In the meantime, excuse me, we have some weather to talk about, but first we're going to start with this, and this is a live look from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. You can see the skies are pretty well clear out there, a little bit of haze to deal with, but otherwise not a bad day. Unfortunately, it's not a bad day if this was September, but it's not. It's October. As we head through the rest of the afternoon, we are looking to be dry. We'll still have those southwest winds occasionally gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour, but as we head later into the evening, they'll let up a bit. And then as we head to tomorrow, we're going to see partly cloudy skies, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies in the morning, and then we'll have partly cloudy skies through the day, and the winds will pick up once again as we head into tomorrow afternoon, and they'll be again out of the southwest at about 5 to 10 miles an hour with those gusts upwards of 20 to 25. But tomorrow is the day we could tie or break records with our highs on Saturday as we go into the low to mid 90s. That is 20 to 25 degrees above normal for this time of year. However, Sunday morning, cold front rolls through. Initially, we're going to notice the winds shift out of the north. It also will take a little longer for us to warm up. Now, our far northern communities, say right along the 54 corridor and points north, are probably going to top out in the upper 70s. If you're south of that, you're still looking low mid 80s on Sunday, but then temperatures will begin to fall as we head into the overnight hours, and it is going to certainly feel like fall. Quick look at temperatures out there. It doesn't feel like fall right now, though. 82 in Joplin, south-southwest wind at 9. Over in Pittsburgh, sitting at 82 as well, with the south breeze at about 9 miles an hour. The air is very dry, so again, no outdoor burning. And around the area, temperatures are quite toasty, as we've got most of us in the low to mid 80s. Again, Monette, Cassville, a little cooler because we had some cloud cover and some showers out there earlier. Still looking at highs for many of us, upper 80s, a couple of low 90-degree readings, absolutely possible. As we head into the evening, mostly clear skies, falling back into the low 60s, and again, that puts us about 10 degrees off the pace of where we should be. And then low to mid 90s tomorrow, which is just absolutely ridiculous for this time of year, but I can't control it. I can only tell you about it. Then we look at this. 47 Sunday night. That's where we should be. 68 Monday is a few degrees cooler than where we should be. 65 on Tuesday is even cooler. And by Monday night, we're talking upper 30s and low 40s for our overnight lows. Now, we will warm back up, though, toward the end of the week, but we have another cold front next weekend that looks to bring us slightly better rain chances. So that is what we're crossing our fingers for, is those rain chances next weekend. Again, live in Columbus for Columbus Days. Everything's getting kicked off. Make sure you come down here and see us right here on the square, and we'll have more tonight at 5 and 6. Elise?
Absolutely. Have fun out there, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making Lincoln's lemon custard pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. For his final stop in Washington, D.C., Howard's showing us how to make Lincoln's lemon custard pie.
As we wrap up our week-long tribute to our nation's capital, we knew we couldn't leave without visiting the Lincoln Memorial. I was in such awe as I stood toe-to-toe with a replica of our 16th president. And when I stood on top of the stairs leading up to the memorial, the same ones where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his "I Have a Dream" speech, I could see the grandeur of the Washington Monument as it mirrors in the famous reflecting pool. Being there was so inspiring, I knew I needed to highlight one of Honest Abe's favorites. So, after doing a bit of fact-finding, we discovered that President Lincoln's favorite dessert was one that hotel keeper Nancy Breadlove made for him. It was a rich lemon custard pie smothered with toasted meringue. To get the recipe for this presidential classic, head over to our website and look for Lincoln's Lemon Custard Pie. What a week it's been. I hope you had as much fun as we did as we toured and ate our way from one end of the Capitol to the other. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a memorable way for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
You can find this recipe on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so again, we've got the hot temperatures today, breezy winds, gusty again tomorrow, record heat possible as we go in the low 90s. Cold front Sunday takes us to the low 80s initially and then into the 60s Monday and Tuesday. We warm back up. Another cold front next weekend brings us slightly better rain chances and cooler temperatures once again by next Sunday. And of course, we're live in Columbus. Now, we're here at the square right now, but for 5 and 6, you'll need to go where the balloons are to the industrial park behind McDonald's to catch the team there.
All right, thanks, Chris. And Dow, you're going to be there at 5 and 6
Absolutely.
as well.
Looking forward to it. Seeing those balloons as they prepare to set up for tonight's glow and the festivities for the weekend.
Oh, how incredible.
Yeah.
Well, what else is coming up tonight at
Well,
5?
a lot coming up at 5. For starters, researchers studying the lasting effects of long COVID say they've made a significant discovery that could lead to a potential treatment. We're going to take a look at what they found. Plus, in recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we're going to learn about resources and services that are available for people in the area facing that issue. And in just 2 weeks, 2 major hurricanes have devastated parts of the Southeast. We're going to learn about the efforts from a Joplin organization that's raising funds for victims of Hurricanes Helene and Milton. Hope you'll join us for those stories and a lot more, all live from Columbus, coming up today, KOAM News at 5.
All right, how exciting. Thanks, Dow. Well, that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.